Have you ever just wanted to help others heal? Have you ever wondered why people get sick, and even with everything they do, how come they just don't get better? Hi, I'm Richard Flook, and I've been asking those three questions for many years since my journey began when I was 12. That's almost 50 years ago. And you may ask, why? Between the ages of 5, 6 and 7, I had an idyllic life with wonderful memories. But then when I was 8, my mum divorced my dad and moved a 9 to 10 hour drive away to live with another man who had his own child. When I was 11, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And even though she had the best care in the world, amazing doctors, the latest drugs, brilliant surgeons, none of that stuff worked. And by age 12, she was dead. So why did she get sick? Even back then, it was obvious to me as a kid, the trauma of leaving behind three of the most precious beings on her planet, her boys, and the middle one, was just too much. We only saw her on school holidays, and it was clearly not enough. But why did the trauma land in her breast? Quick answer, Mother Nature does not make mistakes. She creates disease to solve traumas. And in this case, my mum felt she had abandoned her children. Her breast reacted, making more cells to produce milk, to bring her boys back into the bosom of the family where she could nurture us. And the cancer? That's a last-ditch attempt by the body to solve an impossible situation, which this was. The amazing thing is we can see these traumas using modern technology. They show up in the brain and the organs using complicated X-ray machines called CTs. From these, we now have maps that show where diseases land in the body, and they're based on embryology, which is the study of how we've evolved over millions of years. And what triggers disease to occur is trauma. I wrote about this in my first book, Why Am I Sick? But How Do You Heal? Which is the title of my latest book. Now that's really interesting. Trauma triggers negative emotions, causing a barrage of stress hormones to be released. That's not a problem if it's short-lived. But if the traumatic memory gets trapped, something I coined years ago called a Yoda moment, because it's unexpected, dramatic, isolating, and where you have no strategy to deal with it, then the event is re-triggered. The barrage of stress hormones are re-released, wearing the body down, resulting in disease. It's like how my mum would be re-triggered every time we saw her, spoke to her on the phone, or whenever she felt she had abandoned us. That's why her breast cancer took a few years before it showed up. Through further research, I also discovered that trauma lands in your heart, goes into your brain and down into the belly. Then an organ is chosen and becomes diseased based on embryology and your environment. But how are all these things connected? The key elements tying them together is not obvious. It starts with the mitochondria. They're the powerhouse of the cells. They structure the water inside those cells, and that makes them plump. And that structured water has intelligence to it. DNA is made out of it, for example. What else I discovered is that if you go into the organ that's affected, the brain, the belly, the heart, and that structured water inside the cells, that's where the root of the trauma is buried. It's not stored in one place. And don't think negative emotions are the only things that keep diseases alive. Traumatic stress can be exacerbated by heavy metals, the wrong nutrition, toxic mold, or even the side effects of certain drugs. What is amazing is when you know how to get to the root of the trauma to communicate directly with the body, it answers back. It's also where you need to go to complete your healing, and it's the opposite of the Yudin. I call it the next moment, and it's truly Mother Nature's gift. It's something brand new for you to discover. Now, I've been working with people and teaching this material for 3 decades, and in that time, what we figured out is how to use it in the real world with clients from all walks of life. And if you're like me and this material rings true for you and you can see yourself using it, delve deeper into the information below. And if you have questions, take the opportunity to speak to me personally. All my decades of material are now accessible through a new membership program for one monthly fee. And you can join or leave at any time depending on how far you want to take this material. You'll have full access to past recordings, live trainings, and this includes the brand new material from the book, How Can I Heal? Plus personal coaching and mentoring with me. The world's changed. People are waking up to the probability of healing themselves energetically, and they are searching for practitioners like you. Let's help end their suffering by unlocking your power to transform their lives by embarking on a journey of extraordinary healing. And until we meet, have a great rest of your day.